Hi and welcome to the Corporate Warriors podcast. My name is Fela, and in this episode we're going to talk about the difference between a job and a career. So this video is for you if you are constantly uncertain whether you're doing the right things professionally and are lacking the vision and the bigger picture. The difference between a job and a career is so important because it gives us new possibilities to open up ourselves to create a fulfilling professional journey. The video helps you to understand how to see what's going on in your professional life from the right angle, and therefore it enables you to make better decisions for yourself. So what is the difference between a job and a career? The biggest difference is that a career is long-term. So it's what you're doing during decades. And this is already why some of you are so unhappy with their careers, but actually you're not. You're unhappy with your jobs. A job is something that you could do only a few days up to a few years. I think the main reason why we are all so unclear about that is that in the past, oftentimes still our parents' generation, they were basically having careers, oftentimes doing the exact same job for 40 years or more. And that is not what's going on in modern day organizations and in our modern world anymore. We don't stay as long with our employers as our parents did. There's different reasons to that. One is the changing economy, a lot of new technology coming out there, things getting obsolete quite quickly. And at the same time also in the past there were retirement funds from big companies, and now since all is 401k based, it doesn't really make a difference between once the money is yours, you can transfer that to a new employer as well. So you're not really forced either to stay in one job or with one employer for your whole career, and I think that's a plus. So a career, if you think about it now from that angle, it's more about the personal and professional development, because you will go through many different stages throughout your career and throughout your life. So here you can already see how it's all connected, because your career, if it's like 40 years that you're working until retirement, obviously there are many different changes and things happening in your life that will change your perspective on things, that will change your priorities, that will change how you think about certain things. If you're bothered or not by a colleague, oftentimes also depends on your temperament. And that also changes with age, as we know. And if you also take a look at it from the skill side for a job, it's really important to know the technical skills for the job, for the profession that you're doing. If you're a developer, you need to know a certain development language. That is absolutely needed. And in order to excel in your job and perhaps have a promotion at your job, from going from junior to medium level to senior, you have to improve your technical skills, your hard skills. Whereas if you take a look at the career, your development as a human being, your personal, professional, and spiritual development matters more. So the soft skills are way more relevant in the long term. Now, why should we bother at all? Why does it matter? Well, for starters, the things that you focus on are completely different. Right? So the technical skills that we just talked about, there's one way to learn of all those things. And you can do courses and you can learn it on the job. And that's all fine and well. But for the career, it's more about understanding what is really holding me back. Why can I not develop? Why don't I believe that there's some kind of personal development possible for me within my career? Why can't I mix it? So the negative beliefs have a way stronger effect on your career than on your job. If you have a negative money mindset, for instance, you will have issues making those big jumps throughout your career in your salary. Whereas for a single job, once you're in, you're in. And yes, you can have a pay increase, but we all know that the major jumps usually come with completely new jobs because you developed so much as a professional and as a human being that the jump is justified. So if you have a bad money mindset, which it can be a life topic, but also a career topic, that will impede your whole trajectory of your career. And just as a reminder, On average, Americans, for their career, they spend 90,000 hours of their lives in their careers. Obviously not all at the same job, but just imagine the amount of time that you're going to spend during your career. And I think that's a good reason to make it worth your while. Also, if you consider it from that way, now it starts to make sense. There can be dream careers, but probably dream jobs are really hard. Both might be possible, but for jobs, you're more on a micro perspective. So there's always something that will bother you. Let's be honest, it's life. There's always going to be something that is not ideal. It's going to be a certain colleague that is mean or just not doing their work that they have to do in a teamwork. There's a boss that might be toxic, but those are so small increments of your career that overall for your career, if overall you have this positive development, if you can see I came from here and I developed into a whole new person throughout my career, and that's how I also monetized my development, and that's how I found out what is really bringing me joy and fulfillment, and then switched my jobs according to my career goals. That makes it way more fulfilling, and the probability to create a fulfilling career is just way bigger than just focusing on one job and say, that's not for me, and then basically try to quit working altogether. So of course there's gonna be ups and downs in a career, but you're gonna have more the eagle's perspective on a career, whereas on the job, you're really on the ground in this micro perspective. That also is a reason why investments make so much sense in your career, because again, 90,000 hours. I think we should all make the best out of that and have a fulfilling career that we actually like, where we can develop. It is the most fulfilling thing in my personal opinion. Whereas for a job, sure, you might be doing some kind of small degree or an online class to learn some new programming language, for instance. But also the investments might be way smaller, because once you do have the job, you're already in that bracket. And then you can discuss from there. But again, big jumps come through the personal and professional development behind. And then also the learnings that you have from negative experiences throughout your career, they're not as relevant anymore because they're smaller in contrast. Career, 90,000 hours. So if 1 week of work is not really nice, that's okay. Whereas for your job, if you just started and then already the 4th week is horrible, that's not okay at all. You hear what I'm saying? So the perspective is completely different. The tactics, strategies are different, and what you might be willing to invest, very different as well. So literally, if you say you are stuck in a career, that's not really possible, but you can be stuck in a job. Whereas you can also get the job done, but you cannot get the career done. Does it make sense? So changes are more natural in a career. You can switch within a career different professions. You can even switch industries. And that is very natural and keeps us learning. It keeps our mind open. And that is why the mindset matters so much for your career. For the job, a mindset is a helpful tool. For your career, the mindset will make the big difference between a fulfilling career and a career where you're just being pushed around because somebody else thinks you should do this, because HR thinks you should do that. So that's really, really different. So how do you get there? How do you get from a job mindset to a career mindset? First, as said, mindset matters. How you approach things completely different. The negative beliefs matter way more in your career than they do in the job. The resolution and the dissolving of negative beliefs will help you on both, but the impact will be huge on your career. You can see your career as a journey where you discover, get to know yourself better, and then make the changes so that your personality can be at its best, so you can live up to your full potential at work. You have more this ego perspective. You learn and grow constantly, but at the same time get calmer because you know there's so much time left. You don't have to do everything in the first year of your career in a new job. You do have decades. So plan it out, create yourself a vision that is enticing, that is motivating, but then give yourself the time You don't have to rush it, really. You have time to learn, you have time to grow, and only one bad incident with a manager, with a colleague, doesn't mean that everything is for nothing. You should not be in constant sprinting mode when actually you're doing a marathon. That's literally the message. Find ways to make it fun and make it fulfilling for you. Find in each job within your career things that you like, colleagues that you appreciate, people that you want to be around, that you can learn from. And all of a sudden, you really start to be the creator of your own career. And you really should never give up until you found the thing that suits you best, until you do feel this fulfilling feeling of, yes, that's where I'm supposed to be. I can learn here, I can grow here. And then that your values are also lived in that company. It's like challenging you a good way and makes you grow. Use your career according to your purpose, according to what you think matters on an interpersonal level, on a market level, whatever it means to you, whatever matters to you. So this was a little bit of a shorter episode. Let me know what you think. I try to structure it a little bit more, and I really want to just test out different things, different formats, and I would really be happy to receive your feedback. If you like it, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next week.